Good morning and welcome back to Grow Joyfully. On this beautiful Monday morning in June, I saw something very exciting. My first cucumber. I'm so excited. Look at that cutie. I'm still having a lot of trouble with these unusual rust-colored spots on the leaves. If you have any idea what it is or what I can do, please comment down below. I really haven't had this before. I've been trying to cut the leaves off to stay up with it, but pretty soon there won't be any leaves left. So, if you have any ideas, please let me know. I'm going to try to use a solution of perhaps hydrogen peroxide and a few other things. I know Gary Pillarchek, if I'm saying that right, from the Rusted Garden, has some great ideas on how to treat some diseases and pests organically. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. I've been working on this bed over here, which really needs to be dug out. That's my next job. I need to dig around it and re-edge and redefine it. So things are looking green and pretty lush. We haven't had rain for a while, but that's typical around here in central Idaho. We can go months in the summer with no rain at all. So here's this little main garden here. I've got some beautiful dill growing here. I already picked some and I've hung them up to dry. Here's my chamomile that's looking great. Some of the first flowers, which is very exciting. I wish you could smell the dill. It just smells so good. A lot of the things are growing in. I'm still so enamored about my beautiful little first cucumber. But things should start coming in and growing right away. They're just starting to trickle in a bit here and there, but it's so exciting. My youngest daughter and I worked on this pathway here. We took things out from by the grape arbor where it's just so green and lush, but the things that were growing beside it, they weren't really getting any sun and all. So I've moved some of these things, my beautiful green stalk planters. This one has the strawberries in it. I have lost quite a few, but hopefully these will live and grow and be healthy. And then I just have some different things in this one. I potted up I believe this one is a black cherry tomato, my first year to grow it, from Baker Creek. And I've got spinach that's bolting, and here's a Tom Hat tomato, a little micro dwarf tomato I'm extremely excited about. It's a cherry tomato, an orange one. And here's another cucumber growing in this, and I've got the same sort of spotting on the leaves. So that's distressing, but you have to deal with what diseases come your way. I've been picking the carrots. The beans are growing nicely. This one needs a taller pole to grow up. I don't think, well, I guess it did. The tiger melon I planted right here. It's really hard to get consistent, even watering with the poor water system I have. But tougher where there's none, right? Grateful that I do have water to water it with. I put up this hummingbird feeder. They're not overly fond of that one. Try to pan around slowly here. I can hear them chittering behind me. I've got this one here and this one here, which they prefer much more. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to let this sunflower grow. Because of its weird placement, it is a volunteer. Maybe I'll just let it grow right straight up through the hoop. But we'll have to see. I always know when things aren't going to work and they get to a place where they really bug me, so then I just pull them out. And here's the beans growing up this tripod. More volunteer sunflowers. These are all volunteer beans from last year, and they're just going crazy. I've kind of let this bed be a little bit wild just for fun. I think it's beautiful. The zucchinis over here. I was trying to let these carrots go to seed completely, but it's getting floppy and taking up a lot of the bed where the zucchini need to grow. So I may have to pull that out. We'll have to see. Over here we've got tomatoes and beans growing. My daughter and I brought out the flower pot that was over there by the grapes. It really needs some sun, and I need to fertilize it. That one unique raspberry bush, I'm not really sure what kind it is. I transplanted some tomatoes in pots because I had extra plants left over. These guys are growing. This one is so much better now than it was. But that little chocolate stripes that I've been nursing along is just not taking off, not catching on. So we'll have to see how it does. I think all of these guys need to be fertilized somewhat too. The bachelor buttons that I decided not to pull out are gorgeous. And here are potatoes I've planted in a pot, and 2 tomato plants there. This bed is actually, oh my gosh, it's setting fruit. This is the Subarctic Plenty, and look at that, all the fruit that it's set. It is an early tomato, and as a result we see a bunch of fruit set. My daughter planted some herbs here. We just stick things in the corner here and there, especially when we've picked things like cabbages and what have you. I need to come in and tie this up yet again and get the suckers out. Look how tall they're getting. My pride and joy, my tomatoes. Here's some fruit that this gold medal has set. These won't be done, believe it or not, until September. Here's a volunteer, and this is spreading, and this looks like it could be a pumpkin. So I don't know how long I'll let that one grow, but it's pretty. Time to tie things up. But I was trying to work out there in that part on the flowers and things. Sad thing is there's not enough time in a day to get it all done. But that's okay, we keep working. We still have a few more tomato plants left just because I can't throw them in the compost because I love them. And look at this, the raspberries are starting. Oh, my first raspberry of the year. Wow. I may live. Another one. They're not overly big and plump, but they are packed with flavor. So things are starting. That was good. To grow in the raspberry patch. I can almost come in and pick some, but I'm going to be watching for grandkids today, so maybe I'll bring them out here and let them pick. Here we have a volunteer, I don't know what, looks like a pumpkin. We'll let that grow. And the blueberries are darkening up a little bit. It's going to be a little while till they're ready. Haven't really had any strawberries, just a few of them, but they're usually ready earlier. You can see some blooms here and here. This has lovage that we dug up from the kitchen garden that was over by where we're putting the sunroom in. So that was something I was able to save. It looks like I'll be able to get at least one more picking of the rhubarb. They say not to pick it after July, so it can store energy for the coming year. But the grapes are going crazy. This work of art I can't stop looking at. This is a black hollyhock. And I didn't even plant it here. It's a volunteer. I had them growing in the front of the house, and somehow those seeds made their way clear back here. Here's my sweet peas that are not blooming yet. I think I should probably get these guys out of the shade too. It's a work in progress. And these are the black caps, or black raspberries that aren't quite ready. Another week and they will be, and then we'll have quite a few to put away for jelly and pies. So everything's growing. Here's the marshmallow plant that I have growing in just a small container. I have to read up on it more, whether it's the leaves or the roots that you use. I think it's the roots. And here's the blackberry, thornless blackberry. Look at that particular blossom. So beautiful. I guess it takes 3 years, 2 to 3 years for them to bear. This plant, this is its first full year, second full year, and its third full year. So you can tell the difference in the maturity of the blooms and the fruit. So that's pretty exciting. So I thought I'd give you a quick update on the main garden and how things are growing, how I struggle to keep up with everything and weed eat it, because now the paths need weed eated again. There's a hummingbird right there. I don't know if you can see it. There, you see it there? Flew over to the other hoop. Ooh, it's right there. It's a female. There she goes. Isn't that amazing? I don't know if you can see her well enough, but for me, obviously standing here, I can. But here on the camera, I hope you can see her and have it do justice to her. She's beautiful, and I love watching them. Here I picked 4 of the cabbages, the Earliana cabbages. I'm going to make what's it called, sauerkraut out of them. And my daughter planted a few tomatoes because we have so many plants still. We've given them away. We've sold them. We've thrown some in the compost. This is the broccoli. You can see right here. There's a head growing. Still being riddled by the white cabbage moth, but we take what we can get. Everything's looking good. Starting to fill in and look lush. My daughter and I worked on the peas beyond the fence there, and we got another big batch of them. They never make it to the point of freezing or canning because we just eat them, either fresh out of the pod or I cook them up for dinner. Summer's beautiful. Summer's my favorite time. Everything is gorgeous and green and lush. And I just hope you remember to have a great day and remember to grow joyfully. See you next time.